Bravo 2 rounds. 3 guns in effect. Target number Sierra Tango 205. Over. Shot over. 2 rounds.
Hi everybody, this is S1S Rigs, and today I'm going to have a quick look at these, which are basically the XCortech XT301 compact tracer units. Great little things these. However, there's a lot of questions about how repairable these are. Right, £60 a pop. They're quite expensive. Obviously the caps, you can buy the caps from them. And the caps just, I mean, everybody who's owned one of these will know, is simply a unscrew it and you've got your charging point there. The other end is also unscrewable, but is a bit more difficult. So what happens if the thread goes? Now recently I had one of these where the thread is just gone, and the idea is basically that on a lot of pistols you have a counterclockwise thread that when you continue screwing in of these things wrecks the threads on the tracer unit. So I've had to replace the tracer unit, and you have to forgive all these here. Let's take these off. These were for grip, and you'll see that this is absolutely decimated. I cannot for the life of me get this end cap off, and I've tried everything. It's even been in a vise. It won't budge. So if you do have one that's particularly stiff, you can actually buy the components. Okay, so we'll put that to one side. Here's really what you have. You have an end cap with 2 contacts. You have a cylinder, which everything sits in. You have the tracer unit itself, with the AC. You can actually see the cell here underneath, and you have your protector goes in the middle. You have your component for the light, which fits. It's also the button, so that fits pretty much this side like this. So it presses in, and your screws, which are tiny little screws. Sorry, I keep tapping the camera just so I can see what you see. So these 2 screws here. So what we're going to try and do is put this all back together again, which I have a feeling is going to be interesting, because it was very interesting to try and strip down. I'll be honest, I didn't strip this. My brother did this. He did a very good job of it. But as you can see, it kind of all fits together like so. And if you can see inside, the screws don't line up quite as they should do. Now, I can probably get at this one from the outside, so that's what I'm going to try and do in order to put this back together again. So I need a screwdriver for a start. Let's use a dinky screwdriver. That's the smallest I've got, really. Will that fit? Yes, this could be interesting. So I'm going to mount this on here. The good news is obviously you can do this outside of the tracer unit, so you don't have to worry too much about it. Outside of the shell. But you'd have to get it right, and you'd have to be careful, because if you're not careful, well, you're going to wreck your tracer unit, and you really don't want to do that. So let me just get some more tools. So let's see. First thing I'm going to do is position this in place over the top of there, and remember to line the light switch up and the actual switch itself, or else, well, that's not going to help, is it? And then what I'm going to do is get the screw, which is here, and place this over the cap like so. And then from the outside I'm going to tighten this. Well, I'm going to screw it in, I'm not going to tighten it up. Right, there we go. So that's in there like so. And to get it the other side, again, I can, because I'm doing it from the outside, which of course you can't do with the case on. With the case on, you have to move the cell around and be very careful about how you do that, because it is a LiPo battery, remember, and you don't want to play around with them too much. So this is just a case of popping that in there and giving that a bit of a screw in. Like so. Let's see. So I can't actually see. That's it. Don't hang off them. It doesn't have to be so tight that you'll never unscrew them again or that you thread them. So this is what the inside of the tracer actually looks like. Which, unless you've got one, you wouldn't be able to see this. It's quite an interesting concept, really. I'll put a link in the video for where you can get the components from. Let's see. You see how that's on now? If we were to drop a BB through it. You would have seen that flash, the ultraviolet flash, just in case you didn't. There you go. And you just hold it in, turn it off like so. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to attach the sleeve. Now, both the threads are the same. I don't see any difference in the threads. But I'm going to do it this way because I quite like the idea of the writing on this way. So I'm going to put this in here, and I'm just going to screw this on. I am sorry for the noise, but if you think about it, this is aluminium on aluminium, so you're never going to get rid of that noise. Now I'm going to base this on one that's already here. That's all good. And then what I'm going to do is screw the end cap on, like so. And again, I'm going to use a coin to turn that. And again, you don't hang off this. And you think, oh no, you're missing something. And you're right, I am. I'm missing the internal component. Because if I don't put that on, a BB could cause insane problems inside there. And I mean, you see there's a wire there as well, so this has to gently slide its way back. Be careful when doing this. You don't want to pinch anything. You can't see inside here. Let me just touch the camera again. But there's a little wire in there, so I'm going to use my tweezers, and I'm just going to gently push it out of the way. In fact, I should have done this differently. So I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to unscrew this, pull this out, and then when I can see everything, you can almost see the wires there, like so. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to gently move these wires out of the way from this side. He says, just in there, like so. And this really is the fiddly bit. This is the bit that's going to take you the most time. But make sure you do take your time, because the last thing you want to do is mess this up. Let's see if I can just lift them. They're just sat the other side of the screw. That's it. Let's grab them both and move them over there. There's one. That's it. Okay, so it's flush. Then we screw this back on, like so. And then we put the cap back. We put the cap back on, like this. And I'm going to put the rubber seal back on because it's actually got one on. It's actually got one on. Look at that. Wait. And that's it. Turn it on. Let's grab another BB. Pass it through, make sure all's good. Fantastic. Turn it off. That's it. Put this back on this one. And we're all good again. So I'll put some links to get some spare parts in the chat. So thanks for watching, and I hope it helped. Bye.